Yes, JPU family, welcome to another episode of Jamaica Politics Uncovered. Yes, guys, so Mr. Dennis Chung has joined the chat. Mr. Chung is a financial analyst and commentator. Mr. Chung has something to say about Dayton Campbell and the PNP's proposal to increase tax on imported food. We are 1 year before an election. The opposition party has already started their election campaign. This is their opportunity to tell the people what their plans are. Dayton Campbell did, and it didn't go so well because there's a backlash on him and the party, the People's National Party, for the food import tax that they proposed. The government party must stay on their P's and Q's. They have already outlined their plan moving forward for the next term. I guess over the next few months, just before the election, we will see them reiterating their plan and also showcasing their achievements over the last term. Anyway, I'm going to have you listen to what Mr. Chung had to say about the tax proposal of Dayton Campbell and the PNP.
Dennis Chung warns the tax could lead to higher prices.
Recently, when Trump proposed the tariff on goods coming from China, one of the things that economists said right away is that it would cause greater pain to the American people because it would increase prices. Similarly, putting a tax on food items would also increase prices to the Jamaican people, because remember that the main issue that we face in terms of why we import in goods is not necessarily because we don't have taxes on items, it's productivity.
Dr. Campbell's proposal has sparked a wave of criticism for the PNP. In response, opposition leader Mark Golding stated that the PNP does not see a need for new taxes at this time. Mr. Golding sought to clarify that what Dr. Campbell was suggesting is an innovative approach that would earmark existing taxes that are collected on imported food items. He says those taxes would then be used to create a fund to support import substitution and export-led production of critical agricultural items. Meanwhile, Chung also criticized Dr. Campbell's suggestion to ban the importation of Irish potatoes and onions. According to Dr. Campbell, the ban would help to reduce the country's high import bill. But Chung says Jamaica does not produce enough Irish potatoes and onions.
If the free market did not see that there was an opportunity to bring it in, they wouldn't bring it in. So if you were to do that, and if you were to put a tax on food items coming in, the inevitable consequence is higher prices, because let us even say the item is produced in Jamaica and it actually costs more to produce it in Jamaica. All that would happen is that if I were to put on a 10% tax and make something $110 coming in and it was previously $100, then the person producing it locally, based on how the market operates, would say, okay, now that the price from the imported good has gone from 100 to 110, I don't have to sell my good anymore at $95 to compete. And he would then move it up.
Yes, guys, so clearly Mark Golding is trying to make an excuse or trying to spin what Dayton Campbell said. We've already heard it. We know what he said. The points that Mr. Chung has raised about the consequences of a tax on imported food, they are very serious. He gave the example of the tariff threats from Donald Trump to Canada. And we already heard Canada saying, if you impose any tariffs on us, then we're just going to stop exporting to you guys. And majority of the things that are in America are not made in America. If you don't know what tariff is, it's a tax imposed by one country on the goods and services imported from another country to influence it, raise revenues, or protect competitive advantages. Is it wise for Trump to be making these wild threats against Canada about tariffs? No. Most things that are in America are not made there. And for a country that portrays itself to be a superpower, first world and all these kind of things, America should be making more things. They should be supplying themselves more. Now, in Jamaica, where this guy is playing with the idea of taxing imported food, think about the consequences of that and who are the people that would be most affected. It would affect everyone, because the truth of the matter is we import, I think, more than 50% of our food, a little more than 50% of our food. But even if we were only importing 5% of our food on average, we have to consider where we sit in the world. We're prone to floods and all sorts of disasters that can destroy crops. So we must always be open to the idea of importing food. That's the reality. Remember that we do a little export sometimes too, Imagine if the people them who are exporting food to us decide that, okay, you want to put more taxes on us for our export, then we are going to play games with you too about your export to us over here. Can you imagine, guys, the problem that would cause? This is why we have to have people who understand these things. I am glad to hear Mr. Dennis Chung come out and made a comment on this thing here. Somebody who has no political affiliation, who understands economics and is talking sense. Do you guys think that Mark Golding's damage control attempt worked? What Dayton Campbell said, as you guys should know, causes serious implication for the opposition. If the election were to call right this minute, in my opinion, I think the PNP would lose badly because of what Dayton Campbell has said in recent days. Did the damage control work? In my opinion, I don't think so. I really don't think so, because when you are going to go and talk about taxes, all these years, all these 8 years, all we've heard is no new tax. Suddenly, out of the blue, somebody decided that they wanted to lose an election and come out and say, we need to put a little tax on imported food. Like what? You really would say something like that at this moment in time? The first opportunity that you get to go out there on the campaign trail and speak with the people, the different stakeholders in agriculture, this is the first thing that you do, the first opportunity that you get. Dayton Campbell is the General Secretary of the People's National Party. His words hold a lot of weight. Therefore, there is no disassociation from what he said. There is no damage control. He said what he said, and in my humble opinion, I think Jamaicans are going to be thinking about this until the election. It's going to come down to, will the Jamaican people trust the People's National Party and Mark Golding not to do what Dayton Campbell said they're going to do? What Damian Crawford in recent times said that the PNP would do. Every time they get an opportunity to tell the Jamaican people about their plan and what they would do, whether it be in education, agriculture, economy, they always go to tax. That is their go-to plan, my friends. Tax. Let us see what happens. We are months away from a general election. Now that we see they have no plan, it all makes sense that their only strategy going into a general election is to personally attack the Prime Minister of Jamaica and tell the people that he's corrupt and he's thief and all those things. They have no plan, you understand? And every day, as we get closer to the election, it is revealed that they have no plan. Guys, you are listening to Jamaica Politics Uncovered. Make sure you keep it locked here for your latest political news, updates, breaking news, and reviews. Make sure you're inviting your friends over here and you're tuning in to our late night broadcast. And make sure you're subscribed. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.